Hello everyone! Welcome to another Art in Minecraft video. Today's featured piece is the Lannister Sigil from Game of Thrones. Please remember that the Game of Thrones Noble House Sigil videos contain information that may be spoilers to the TV show fans who have not read the books. So before Cersei accuses one of us of murdering one of her children, let's begin. The Great House Lannister is one of Westeros' richest and most powerful families and oldest dynasties. Their seat is Casterly Rock, a castle on a rocky promontory overlooking the Sunset Sea. It sits atop the most productive gold mine in the Westerlands, making them the wealthiest family in all the realm. The words of House Lannister are "Hear me roar." However, their unofficial motto, though equally well known, "A Lannister always pays his debts." Tywin Lannister is one of the most powerful lords in Westeros and a father of 3. He loves the twins Jaime and Cersei, but he despises his dwarf son Tyrion. His disdain stems from both his deformity and Tywin's blaming him for the death of his wife Joanna during birth. Not to mention Tyrion's shaming the family name with his whoring. Tywin married his cousin Joanna, and from all reports, the marriage was a happy one. Following her death by birth, Tywin never remarried. He took position as Hand of the King, serving to Kings Aerys Targaryen, Joffrey Baratheon, and Tommen Baratheon. If that even is their real last names, we know what you've been up to, Cersei. Cersei Lannister, the eldest child, by mere moments. She was married to King Robert Baratheon, becoming Queen of the Seven Kingdoms. She is the mother of Joffrey, Myrcella, and Tommen. Sir Jaime Lannister, known as the Kingslayer, is a knight of Westeros. Raised at the age of 15 to the Kingsguard of the Mad King, Jaime became the youngest member in the history of the prestigious knightly order. He earned the derogatory nickname Kingslayer when he treasonously slew King Aerys. After spending a few years as a squire, Jaime made his way back to Casterly Rock, where Cersei told him that their father intended to marry him to Lysa Tully. Cersei weaved a plan for him to become a member of the Kingsguard to free him from the marriage. Cersei and Jaime experimented sexually with one another during childhood. So many things wrong with this. They were, at one point, discovered by a servant, and their mother moved their rooms to separate sides of the castle in an attempt to prevent such behavior. To no avail. Jaime is the true father to all 3 of Cersei's children. Tyrion is the youngest child. He is often referred to as the Imp and the Half-Man. He finds himself excluded from regular family life, especially by his father and by his sister, who abused him during his childhood. When he was 13, he and Jaime rescued a common girl, Tisha, from some bandits, and thoughts of love quickly replaced those of priesthood for Tyrion, who had recently decided to become the High Septon. He'd bribed a sexton and married Tisha in secret. Their happiness lasted only 2 weeks, however, before Tywin got news of the wedding. When he found out, he had Jaime tell Tyrion that Tisha was a whore who had been paid to make Tyrion a man. Tywin then had her gang-raped by his guards. For each guard, he gave her a silver. To drive the lesson home, Tywin forced Tyrion to be the last man for whom Tisha was paid a gold coin, because Lannisters were worth more. After his brother's proposed marriage to Lysa fell through when he was named to the Kingsguard, Tywin offered Tyrion as a replacement, only to be told that she required a whole man. When he became a man at 16, he was forbidden from taking a tour of the 9 free cities. Instead, his father gave him charge of all the cisterns and drains at Casterly Rock. Tyrion meets a young prostitute named Shae, who he develops feelings toward, despite his better judgment. He reminded himself on several occasions that the only thing Shae loved about him was his gold. It turns out his assessment was correct, as Shae testified against him in his trial. She falsely claimed, under Cersei's direction, that Tyrion had all but enslaved her and planned with Sansa to kill Joffrey, Tywin, and Cersei to seize the throne for himself. And although Cersei's children are also Jaime's, I'll be talking about them in the Baratheon Sigil video. Whenever that comes out. So those are all the facts that I gathered for the Lannister sigil. There wasn't as much information because it didn't take me as long to build the sigil, so the video's not that long. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Stay strange.